Good morning, everyone. Welcome to yoga. It's a lovely Friday morning. That was just my cat making an entrance. Let's start with our hip rotations. Inhaling, hips come forward. Exhaling around and back. Good. So as you inhale, we're exhaling then around and back, and we're lubricating the hips. So welcome. It's so good to be here again and have my modem working and have my practice to share, and it's just good to be here. And I wanted to share that the Center for Community Arts with Walnut Creek will start class at 9 a.m.
It's too difficult for me
So
to figure out.
let's keep on with our hip rotations. And I was just wanting to share that we'll start September 17th for the Center of Community Arts Yoga. If anyone's interested in signing up for that, it starts September 17th, which is a Friday, and we'll do it from 9 to 10, the way we're doing it here. So that's nice to know. So one way or another, we'll keep our yoga connection, and it really does help so many things. It's sometimes we get in a routine of doing it, and then we set it aside for a while, and we're got like, gosh, you know, I used to feel better. Why? And I'm like, oh yeah, yoga. So let's let ourselves luxuriate into oiling of the joints and the hips here. Just warming up the body and loosening. And when the gardener comes and the phone rings and there's things to be done, it's nice to take an hour to just carve out some time and rebalance. So I'm recording the video so folks can enjoy it on the YouTube channel if they want to tune in, and I'll show you the sample of it so that you feel confident that you know you're not going live and on the air with your picture. It's all just my video, but you're welcome to press unmute yourself or share any comments or questions, because it adds to the video. I'm not trying to only have it be me. It's great to have other voices and comments. So let's take the hips and we'll take them around, and let's let it spiral to center. Yeah. And pause. Good. And then let's take the shoulders and let's swim them into a rotation. So one shoulder comes up on the inhale. Exhaling it comes around and down. The other shoulder just sort of comes around for the ride. I am so pleased that my modem is working again. I can't even tell you how odd it was to not be able to do it, but I did get to do a lot of work with Wi-Fi by the pool, which I'm not complaining about, but I did miss you all. Inhale still as the shoulder comes up, exhale around and back. So we're warming up for our day. It's lovely to meet again in the morning. I like that too. Inhaling and exhaling. Good. And then we'll change directions with the shoulders. You could match the breath to the other shoulder this time, and it comes up and around and down on the out breath and around. And the other shoulder, again, it's sort of like swimming just with your shoulders. Comes along in a rhythm. The body loves to have rhythm and routine. It's relaxing for the nervous system, and then that helps us go do the things that we need to do later. So all this physical connection, neurologically, physiologically, is helping our cognition, helping our minds. So it's all super worth it. I could have used a little more of this in, fifth grade, get up and have a little movement break, right? And then sit down to do your things. Thank goodness we used to have more recess when we were kids. I'd like to create a movement where we refund all of our recess at the public schools. I think they've shortened it. And that's a shame because that's what helps us in school. And they wonder why all the kids are bouncing off the walls. It's because they need to go run around. That's my view. I don't know why I just got on that soapbox, but there's that. We're just thankful to move our bodies this morning. Let's shrug the shoulders up to the earlobes. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. And when they get a little achy and you're just about done being there, you exhale nice and slow. Good, inhale, shoulders come up. So it'll take a little bit of marketing again to let people know we're here, and then it'll be really nice to be together again. So I'm excited to finally post the videos. I didn't do that from last week yet, so it'll get done in just the right timing. And my shoulders feel nice and achy, so I let them slowly down, like letting water out of a fish tank. It goes nice and slow. That level just goes real nice and even. Good, and then one more time, shoulders come up. And you squeeze, 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 squeeze. Yes, and then in one nice audible exhale, let it go. Audible sigh. Yeah, very nice. Good. Let's take an inhale. So we have that lovely exhale to go round and forward with the head, and the chin comes down, sort of scoops along the curve of the collarbone, and then up. And exhale, chin comes down and around again. A few rounds of that coordinated with the breath. Oh. Nice. Feeling those different little micro mini stretches as the head comes around, and not staying in one place for too long allows for the neck to open a little bit without any striving. Maybe choosing an in-breath to let the head come up and stay up. We'll do a little bit of energizing today and a little bit of resting. So we have a nice happy medium, inhaling, and then we let the head come around the other direction. I noticed during the shelter, during the stay-at-home order, and even now, that somehow my upper back is where I store some tension, just because of circumstances having changed, and we've all had to be creative and flexible, and our bodies sometimes store the energy it takes to hop too like that. And so I want to share after this a really nice neck release that I learned recently. So again, just still inhale as the head comes up, exhale round and forward with the chin, head comes straight up. That's what the physical therapists tell us to do to protect our necks. So we'll just listen to that for the moment until further notice. Good, and then we'll take the head up and let it stay up when you're ready. It may not be right when I say. And then I wanted to share, here's the neck release. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to come into the mid-ground here. And what I'm going to do is, you could do this standing. I'm just making it so you can see me. You could do it seated or standing. I'm going to take my hand and give a nice firm but comfortable grip on my opposite shoulder, or the trapezius muscle right here between the shoulder and the neck. So just a nice comfortable grip with the hand there. And then I'm going to turn the head to that side toward that shoulder. And this is called the owl. They do this with kids. It's called, the practice is called brain gym, if anyone's heard of it. And what you do is you kind of imagine you've got an owl who's kind of fluffy and light and can turn its head over toward that shoulder where your hand is. And you can even make that sound. You can go, whoo, if you have the gumption to do some sound effects this morning. Otherwise, you can just blow out pursed lips and exhale. Whoo, whoo. If nothing else, it could make you laugh. I could use a laugh. And then we take the head to center. And then exhale to the other shoulder, turn to the side. And remember that owl has nice fluffy feathers. It's sort of a light, easy movement to the other side. Whoo. Or just an audible sigh, whatever works. And then inhale, head comes back to center, it swivels. Inhale there. And then exhale, drop the chin toward the chest. So nice. Good. And then inhale, head comes up. Let's do it one more time on that side. So I'm going to take that inhale in the center. Exhale toward that hand on your trapezius shoulder area. And you get to have a nice grip. You get to grip that. For some reason, gripping that muscle helps this whole process. Inhale, center with the head. Inhale, exhale to the other shoulder. Whoo. Bring out your inner owl. You're good at flying. Good, inhale, and then exhale back to center. Inhale there. Exhale, chin to the chest. Good. Very nice. And then I'm just going to gently release my hand from the shoulder and we'll do the other side. So take that opposite hand, opposite shoulder area right there above the shoulder and give it a nice, firm but comfortable grip. And then we inhale there. Exhale, turn the chin toward that hand. Inhale back to center with the head. Exhaling, so we inhale there. Exhale to the other side with the chin. Good, center. And chin to the chest. Good. And then we take one more time, head comes up, we'll take it. Inhale there. Exhale, turn toward your hand, that side shoulder. Inhale, center. Exhale, other side, turn your head. Look around that shoulder. Inhale, center. And finally, exhale one more time, chin towards the chest. It just drops easy. Yes, so we release the back and the sides and the neck, where some of us hold some tension. And it's so nice. Then we just release that hand. So they do that in school to help kids read. I guess it helps your brain connect so you can read, but it helps us with all of that and any, just noticing that how your neck feels. You might even turn it side to side now and see how it feels. Yeah, isn't that cool? Good. So now let's come back to standing if you're not there already. And we'll do just a couple chest openers for our creating a little more energy and openness in that upper body again. So let's swoop the hand to the side. Feet are balanced under the hips. And with that owl series we just did, you can even do that with a partner and have them hold your shoulder for you. They could stand behind you and hold your shoulder, and then you just get to do the neck part. If that kind of thing is up your alley, you do that at your next your next coffee date. So I'm just again swooping the hand to the side. Flowing to the side. So our yoga helps assimilate and connect, helps us release tension. It helps bail out tension so that we can feel lighter and a little bit more open and social, or more like taking a nap. Your body will tell you what you need. Maybe it's social, maybe it's go take a bath and sleep for an hour or two. The yoga helps your body tell the truth, or helps you hear it, maybe. Yeah. So again, let's take that hand, and this time I'm going to swoop it around and if you can see this foot against this back, I'm turning the front foot straight in front of me. Yeah. And you might be able to see better in front of this blue cushion. Yeah. So here we are. I'm just taking that, and then I'm going to slip the heel, the back foot heel behind me, so that foot is at somewhat of an angle to support your weight. Yeah, and then the hips are somewhat in the direction of that forward foot, but not exactly. We're not forcing it. We've got a little bit of a diagonal front view with the hips, as if you have little headlights here on the hips, and they're somewhat in the direction of that front foot, but not quite. Good. So inhale, let the hands float up. Beautiful. Exhale, they come down as if through oatmeal or water. Clasp the hands behind the back. And then inhale, you let the arms extend and knuckles come toward the floor. So my arms are relatively straight, but you listen to your body. And then you look up as if you're the figurehead of a ship. This is so nice. I haven't done this for a while. I really enjoy coming to see you all, because then I do more variety. And I hope we all benefit from that. So good. Inhale, and then we exhale, fold at the thigh crease, any amount, and we fold forward so that you just land where you land and breathe there. Doesn't matter how far down you come. Good. You can let the arms remain extended, or let the hands relax onto the low back and release the tension from the arms. And you can just breathe there for a sec. And breathe into wherever you feel it. Good. And then I'm going to re-exert the tension in the arms so that I pull the hands away from themselves, and that helps me just float up with ease. Yeah, it somehow happens that way. Good. And then I release the hands to my sides and just stay there and breathe a couple rounds of breath. Good. And let's take one more variation of that. So inhale, hands float to the sky, down through the water, around the back and clasp. And then extend the arms, lifting the head just slightly. The gaze is a better way to say it. Lift the gaze to look at that seam of the wall and ceiling, perhaps. Good. And then this time I'm going to fold at the thigh crease, any amount, come down. You can breathe into maybe the low back, the hamstrings, wherever the stretch happens for you. And all our bodies are different. So there's no right answer and there's no wrong answer. Good. Release. Let the hands be on the, relax onto the low back. And this time I'm going to press into the feet, and I come up just about an inch on an inhale. And then exhale, I lower again into the stretch. So take that sort of air mattress movement. I can feel my legs trembling a little, and that means it's letting go of tension and also strengthening. So you let that kind of be. Don't try to control that too much or at all. Inhaling, press up. Another way to say that is you can welcome it. Exhale down. Inhaling up just slightly and exhaling back down. And before you get too tired of doing it, you re-exert that extension in the arms. Yeah. And then pull the hands away from each other as they're still interlaced, and somehow you more easily can float up. Release the hands, the arms come to your sides. Breathe a couple breaths before you do any moving back to center. Just let the body come back to equilibrium and your blood pressure and things. Let the cycle kind of settle. Good. And then let's turn the navel back toward the front of the room. And maybe rock side to side. The body loves to be rocked. You could do that to music at your place. Just this. Put on some nice music and just do this. Exhaling on one side, inhaling on the other. Erasing the chalkboard. Good. And then when you feel ready, you can pause in the center, let yourself sort of rock and pause to back to center. Good. And then let's take the second side, let the arm go into that swooping gesture where we're swooping aside the curtains. Good. And we're breathing while we do this. We're letting the body know where it's going. It'll be like more amenable to coming along for the ride if it sort of knows where you're going first. Nothing too sudden. Give it a little time to get used to the idea and then go, okay, great. And then we let that front foot slip to pointing forward in front of our hips. And the back foot, let that heel slip back so that it's at an angle of some sort. And then I'm just going to inhale, let the arms come up. Inhale. Exhaling, arms float slowly down. Clasp. Inhale, extend the arms, lift that chest, lift the sternum, that breastbone where our midline is. Really feel that connection to your midline, the center of the body. Good. And then we exhale, fold forward and land wherever you land. And that's just right. And breathe there. And this side may feel a little different than the other side. And that's the way it is. That's the way we all are. So we let that be welcome as well. And here's where my teacher would tell you some convoluted story about something from the Yoga Sutras or something. And then you find out that you've been sitting here for quite a while, and she was always very steady, and she was in her late, late 70s, 80s, whatever age, and I was in my 20s, or I think, and I was sitting there trembling, and she was just talking and chatting because she did this every day. So that's inspiring. Good, and then I'm gonna let the hands rest on the back. We're here a little longer on this side to see what that's like. If it's a little much and you're cooked, you just come out sooner than I say so. So I'm gonna let the arms extend and float on up. You can be like, that's nice, lady, but that's not where I'm at today. So do a little less. And that's great, because then you'll be our teachers too, to let us know it's all okay to cool it. So take a couple breaths. Good. And let's take that second variation once. So we'll inhale, the hands float up to the sky. Coming, drifting down. Come the hands behind you and clasp. Inhale, extend the arms, lift that breastbone, lift the chest, and gaze up toward that gentle gaze up toward the ceiling. You're like the figurehead of a ship, open in the chest, and then we fold forward at the thigh crease, any amount. And this time, you can let the hands again relax, release onto the sacrum. They're still clasped, but they just relax onto the back. And then press into the feet, lifting slightly on the inhale, exhale, coming down slightly. So you float up and down with the breath. A few rounds of breath. Good, and then when you're cooked, you re-establish that long arms and float on up. Very nice. Breathe there at that same angle. Don't need to move a thing. Just breathe in and out. Let the body relax for a sec. You could sigh or yawn. Good, and then we let the body, the pelvis, come back to this front of the room. Good, and we can do our side to side rock and back and forth. Inhale. This time you could do inhale and to the side, or actually it's exhale to the side, inhale center, and exhale other side. That's a little different than the first way we did it. The first way we just inhaled on one side, exhale on the other. That's one option. The other is inhale center and exhale one side. Inhale center again, exhale other side. If your mind needs a job, that could be a good one. Practicing that for a sec. Sometimes if the mind is that drunken monkey mind, you can come to something like this, give it a job, doing something else, and then maybe some inspiration or intuition will come to you without really looking for it. Or if nothing else, you can rest the mind for a little space of time. I find that sometimes if I go for a little drive in the car or take a shower, sometimes the idea that I need will come to me without so much efforting. So doing something physical to take yourself out of that tape recorder sort of over and over thing the mind likes to do sometimes. Give it something rhythmic, give it something physical, and see what comes there. Good. Very nice. Now let's let ourselves take that horse stance, that wide stance, And let the knees bend somewhat. We want the knees to track over that second toe so that the knees are safe. And let's just go to the side here, side bend. And side bend again, other side. And fold, just let the head drop forwards and the upper back maybe. A little echo of that owl pose we did. Let's do it again. Side bend. So this is a little more restful, but also strengthening for the legs. Come up to center, exhale, other side. Side bend. And I'm just letting the arms be relaxed at my sides in this one. And then we come to center and then exhale, chin drops, maybe the head and maybe just the shoulders kind of come forward just slightly. That feels really nice. Let's do it one more time if you like. Otherwise, you can go back to rotations with the hips if you've had enough. We'll just exhale, come to the side bend on one side. Inhale up, exhaling other side. Good, pressing through the feet up to center comes the torso. And you inhale there, then exhale, head just folds, just curls forward. Along with that upper back, it's a little release here, so great. Nice, and then you lift the head and come up. There, I'm gonna let the hands rest on my thigh. Yeah, well, you know what? I'm gonna change my mind. Come to center once. You can do that. You can change your mind. I'm gonna take that tassel twist first. Let's do that to introduce the twist to the body gradually. So you let the arms be nice and heavy. I have a teacher who says, let them flail. You want to do that gently, but let them really kind of play with gravity. And you start small and then let it grow bigger as the back warms and loosens. If it warms and loosens, then you just stay where it feels just right. Getting a nice gentle twist, which is gives us nice energy. Twists are slightly invigorating, stimulating. So just doing this can revive our energy down the way. Good, and then when you feel ready, you just let your body rock you to a stop. Yeah. And since we're here, what I'd like to do, let's open the hands, open the heart. Let's take a pause. And this is our Tadasana. Sometimes we do it in the beginning of class, but you can do it whenever you want. So let's take our inhale, exhale, send your roots down your legs, down through your feet into the earth. Grow, watch them grow and just nestle into the earth. Inhale, drawing your inhale in again. Exhale, let those roots go down through your legs, feet into the nourishing soil. Good, let's do that one more time. Inhaling. And exhale through your thighs, your calves, feet down deep into the earth, nice and wide the way you like. For your favorite tree, what kind of roots you have, you get to choose. Broad and deep and nourished. Good, and now let's inhale up through your roots. That nice warm earth prana energy up into your legs, your torso, all the way up to your heart. Good, and then you exhale and let that energy permeate every cell of your body. Good. And then again, let's inhale up through our roots, our feet, our legs, our waist, all the way up to our heart. And this time, exhale any worries or concerns, anything that doesn't bring you joy, just let it go down your roots deep into the earth with your exhale. Letting it go. And really letting it go. Good. And then again, let's inhale up through our roots, legs, up through our hips, our torso, all the way up to our heart. And this time we'll let it permeate all the cells of our body on the exhale, and then extend beyond your body about 1.5 feet in all directions, like the orb of an egg. Behind you, under your feet, over your head, all around. Your space. Bask in that for a couple rounds of breath. Good. Tadasana, that's our mountain pose. You could imagine a mountain. You can also imagine like a palm tree so that you're steady and also flexible. Either one of those images are nice depending on the moment in your day, which one you need. Good. And then if the eyes have naturally been closed, gently, gently opening the eyes. And we can take that tassel twist one more time to sort of enliven ourselves, get a little bit of movement going again, and prepare for our twist in just a sec. So letting the arms be heavy again and with that gentle twist. Good, and then letting your body rock you to a stop. Good. And let's just take really for a moment here, I'd like to take a side stretch once again. So I'm going to, you can stay standing, but I'm going to kneel so you can see me. I'm going to hold one wrist with my hand, and push my extended arm hand up to the ceiling. And then I use the other hand to clasp gently the wrist, and then I'm going to take, now I'll show you my feet. I'm going to let this foot, the toes go out to the side, So I have my right arm up, left foot turns out slightly to the side, the toes, and then I arch toward that foot that's slightly turned out. While I'm holding that wrist, that's the arm that arches to the side toward that slightly open leg. Good. Beautiful. And then you press through the feet, and then the arms come up to center and then down. Let's take the other side, and then we'll come to the floor soon, I promise. So let's take the hand up. The left hand, this time I'm just going to say, so it's easier. Press that palm up to the sky, clasping with the other hand that wrist gently. Make sure your shoulders are happy. If anything doesn't feel right, you just don't do it. Good. And then I'm going to take the right foot, turn it slightly to the side, the toes. And then I'm just going to arch to the side toward that right foot. Side bend. Very nice. Good, and then when you're ready, coming back to center, arms float down, and so do we. Coming down, I'm going to come to my squat and transition toward the floor here. Good. Good, and just breathe into the belly. You don't have to do anything else, just breathe into the belly. And if your knees prefer, just come to a comfortable seat without the squat. breathing into that belly breath. And then to bail out any tension, we can do our Bastrika breath through the nose. That dog pant breath through the nose. Isn't that nice? And then we just breathe into the belly, normal breathing again. Nourishing breath. Let the breath be wide, meaning let the ribs be wide. Breathe into the sides of the balloon and not just the front of the balloon, and the back of the balloon you can breathe into if you imagine your belly being that balloon. Ah. Very good. And one more round of the Bastrika if you want. And then you release that one more round or two of belly breath. So that Bastrika really helps bail out any unneeded tension. Breathing into all sides of your balloon. Beautiful, good. Let's come to a seat. Start to wind down. Good, I'm just going to get used to sitting for a sec. Feel the gravity doing its job. Feel your sits bones on the floor, good, in the earth. I'm going to fold forward any amount. Just let the hands draw forward. And have a forward fold here at the thigh crease, just seated. I'm in a comfortable seat with my with one leg in front of the other, or you can let your legs be long if that's better for your body. Just you choose. Fold forward. Isn't that just great in itself? Breathe into the low back. You know, if all you did was this for just 2 minutes on the floor in your day, wouldn't that be wonderful? And then maybe you'll trick yourself into doing a couple rotations and go from there. Releasing the head, release the neck. Good. Walk the hands over to one knee and fold again. Good. And then I'll walk the hands to center. And then walk them back to the other leg, to the other knee and fold. Three-way fold here. Good, and let's walk the hands back to center. Good, and then we come up on the inhale. Actually, I came up on the exhale. See what feels right for your body in that way. Good, and then I was looking at a wonderful book that Candace shared with me from the Lily's yoga from PBS back, when I was a kid, I guess in the 70s, she's doing yoga, and I think she still is on YouTube. And on the cover, I thought we'd just do what she does on the cover. So echoing what we've done today already, I'm going to take the hands behind me in clasp, extend the arms. Yeah, looking up, just slightly. And then just fold forward at the thigh crease any amount here. So Lilius has her hands all the way up to the sky, and I'm not there yet. I don't know about you, but we can do a taste test and see how this feels today, and maybe revisit it sometimes and see how it goes. So here we get another chest opener, seated. And a neck release, let the head release down. Lilius has her forehead to the floor. We'll do that next week. Good. Do that for just as long as it feels right for your body. I'm lingering because it seems to feel really nice. Good. And then I'm just going to relax the hands for a sec there because they're getting a little tired. Then release the head down there, and then I'll re-exert that length in the arms to pull the fingers away from each other so that I float on up. There's this interesting little trick that if the hands are clasped, I'm going to show you in front of my black shirt so you can see. If the hands are clasped, but you sort of do that Chinese yo-yo grabbing the hands, the fingers away from each other while still holding them there. That's the action behind my back that I'm talking about, where I extend the arms, do that Chinese yo-yo feel. And then somehow when you pull against those fingers, you float up with less efforting in the back. Yeah. So let's do something. I'm trying to decide what I want to do right now. Maybe it's time to lay on our backs. Before we do that, let's lay on our backs, but in a dynamic moment. I'm just going to play with that a little. Let's come to our backs on the floor. Do you remember Chinese yo-yos? We used to get that in goodie bags at birthday parties. I don't know. I don't even know if that's a PC thing to call them. I think we should rename it just that little finger basket trick. There, that's what it's called now. Or no, it's not Chinese yo-yo, it's Chinese handcuffs. There it is. You know what I'm talking about? Someone might know what I'm talking about. It's like a round tube that's a woven little basket. And when you put your fingers in, they fit. But when you try to take them out tightly, it grabs your fingers. Anyway, let's do our windshield wiper. I just got a free chiropractic adjustment there, just letting the knees rock side to side. Sometimes when the body warms and loosens, you'll get a little adjustment. My teacher used to say also that sometimes when you do your yoga, sometimes you'll have a little, like a little belch or a little big sigh or something. And she would bring that up because she's like, I just want you to know that that's normal and that's something yoga brings up. It's helping your body let go and release so that you're not wondering why that's happening if it usually doesn't. She's good at parenting us through our yoga and being like, oh yeah, that's what happens. That's what my teacher, her teacher lived into his 90s. And was from India, and he'd let you know what happens in your yoga. And if you weren't sure, you could come ask her or him. So leaving room for those things as they come up. Good, so I'm rocking my knees side to side. And if you want, you can stay right where you are and do your windshield wipers because that's where you're at. If you want, you can draw the knees to the chest. Inhale, draw the knees to the chest, opening that back. And then one thought is you can cross your ankles, hold on to your big toes. That's one idea. And then you let the feet come up. They sort of rock up over your head and you come up like a kid on a swing. So you swing the feet. This is something dynamic and playful if you want. So just watch for a sec if you want. So I'm on my back and the feet come way over the head, or as much over the head as the back is happy with. And do this. Pump the legs and you come back up to a seat. So that's just if you want another thing that kind of makes you smile or something to practice. Good. And then we can also just grab the back of the knees and do the same thing if crossing the ankles isn't in the cards today. Yeah. So you get a little massage in the back. Good. And I'm going to come back down and rest. Let's take the knees up. Let the shins be parallel of the ceiling. And then I'm just going to rock the hips, the knees over to the left. Get an easy spinal twist. Good. Breathing into that spiraling. Coming down, we're going to land this thing, this plane, bring the knees back up to the sky and the shins parallel to the ceiling and the floor. And then I just rock them over to the second side. A little spinal twist. Breathing there. Good. Couple more breaths. Good, and then draw back from the kidney on the side, and one knee comes up and then the other. Good, hug the knees to the chest. Maybe take a happy baby if you want. You can let the hands rest on the inner edges of the feet. Knees are down toward the floor and at a somewhat of a right angle. And then you can rock side to side if you want. Happy baby. Good. Beautiful. And then you can come into your favorite Shavasana. It could be on the floor, knees bent, feet on the floor. It could be legs extended on the floor. Noticing how you feel. Also the option to come on up to a seat. You can roll to your side and up to a seat if you prefer just a brief seated meditation. So we can glide slope into your mid-morning siesta here. Good, so letting yourself just breathe into the belly. Think of that balloon again, breathing to the sides and the back of the balloon, as well as the front of the balloon in your belly. And I'm also going to give the option too of either on the floor or seated. You can have your right hand on your belly, near your navel or right beneath the navel, and the left hand on the chest area is traditionally what they say in classes. I'm sure you could switch hands, do what feels best. But I have my One hand on the belly, one hand on the chest, and breathe into your balloon. Good, and then breathing into the chest, breathing into that hand. To ease any tension out of the upper back. And to feel that support of the hands, that warmth of the hands, the support, the weight of the hands. Resting on the body, reassuring. Grounding. Feeling yourself heavy to the floor. Just continuing to breathe into that belly breath, that balloon on all sides. That can be a nice one if you know anyone who has trouble sleeping. You can do some nice belly breaths. And sometimes that'll help you relax. And if nothing else, you just get some nice breathing in, which is worth a lot. Good. So we're going to start to wrap up class for today, and you feel free to stay on the floor in whatever your preference position is and just luxuriate and be in your Shavasana. Let the body absorb all the benefits of the practice. So I'll be here doing our breathing for a moment or two, and then we'll let you unmute yourself if you want to talk, and otherwise we'll see you next week. And here, just to close, I'm just going to take on my next inhale. I'm going to draw the hands away from myself, let the palms face up. Exhaling, palms together in front of the heart. And if you're on the floor, you just get to listen and let it wash on by like the river. And may we live like the lotus at home in the muddy waters. Thank you. That is class. Enjoy your restful time. And again, we'll have class next week at 9 on Friday. And that'll continue on September 17th, which is a Friday, with the City of Walnut Creek. So keep your eyes peeled for the online signups, and have a beautiful rest of your day. Have a great week. Love you all. See you later. Bye. Ciao.
Ciao.